Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Haas Show, powered by the Yum Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Danae, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Haas. It's not our 250th show,
No,
like it's the
America's birthday though. Yes,
but we're up there. I don't. It's 127, I believe.
some there.
128 today.
128. Yeah. So happy birthday to America. This is exciting, and you know why it's mostly exciting for me. I mean, not only celebrating our independence, but we're going to be celebrating hot dogs and hot dog eating and all that good stuff.
You have been waiting basically
A year.
365 days to do this again, but I framed it for you when we were doing our notes beforehand.
Yeah.
I said I want you to educate something about the hot dog.
I don't know. I mean, I got a little nervous because I'm like, I'm not really an expert on this. I'm just a fan, but so we'll find out.
Well, you're certainly more of an expert than either one of us. So
I don't know. Yeah. But I plan on training a little today. I plan on consuming a few hot dogs of my own.
Good.
But I do love a good dog. I'm going to do the dogs on the grill, but I like my preference is a steamed hot dog with a steamed bun.
If I was going to rank hot dog cooking preferences, I would start with steamed.
Yeah.
And then I would start with more of a fried, like on a Blackstone kind of a thing.
Yeah, those are good.
And then grilled would be last.
Okay. Now
Actually, microwave would be last. The grilled, then microwave.
I'm not microwaving a hot dog. Condiments? Do you put condiments
Ketchup
on it?
and mustard,
Okay.
celery salt if available.
Okay. I like to put a little. I like all that, but I like sweet relish if it's available.
Yeah.
And I might even do some chopped onions. Now, dog, are you a hot dog guy?
No, never had. No, not a hot dog.
All right.
Sausage maybe.
Whoa. So we can save the rest of the hot dog talk until the New Hampshire sports segment, where we're gonna do a deep dive.
Yes.
Into the hot dog eating
We're
contest.
gonna take New Hampshire to Coney Island. I can't wait.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Mike and the Haas is powered by the Yum Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro. Can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar. And, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumyumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Haas to receive 20% off your Gingy box. We want to thank the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring our Facebook Live and YouTube Live feed. And, of course, you could follow us on social media.
You can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right. Opening Takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse.
Where you can enjoy delicious food right next to the lake. Oh, I forgot to say delicious food and drinks.
Yes.
And don't forget to order, of course, the $5 Mike and the Haas penalty box during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. And what a beautiful weekend to be sitting by the lake. It's been, people complain, Mike, about because we've had, a little bit of a heat wave and it's warm. It's summer, man. It's summer. It should be warm. I really appreciate the warm weather. I want it to be warm year round. I think this is great. I have no complaints. I'm umpiring in this weather. That's how much I love it.
Would you rather have 100 degrees or 0 degrees?
100 degrees.
Dog, 100 degrees or 0 degrees?
As it stands right now, 0 degrees. If you go out, you die. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not big on that. Either way.
I just feel so alive. I go outside. I'm hot. I get a sweat going. I just feel good. I mean, you have a sauna. You're a sauna guy. I know you're gonna say it's a dry heat and like it's Arizona or something. But you like
infrared.
You like the heat.
I would rather do 100 degrees than 0 degrees.
Okay, all right. So
I'm-
we're kind of the same with that.
I mean, I very seldom complain. I like on a really hot day being outside for a little while and then going to jump in the lake.
Sure.
Air conditioning, whatever.
Yeah.
That cool down period.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. But
yeah,
I'd rather
it's
do
really-
100 than 0.
Yeah, it's really nice. Interesting thing. So I was talking a little bit about umpiring, and people were asking, in the hot weather, what is it like to take the gear off? And the only way that I could explain it to people, and you'll appreciate this because you're a hockey guy, I said it's like taking off your ice skates or taking off your ski boots. Like that relief, you feel so good after.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, and I feel like once you get that umpire gear on, like when you're doing behind the plate gear, like when you release the chest protector and the legs, I don't know, you feel good.
You must lose some, are you hydrating well?
I have to.
I'm concerned about you. Are you hydrating?
I appreciate you. I hydrate definitely pregame. So I do. I'm into the Gatorade Zero. I don't like the sugar. I do that, and I drink. As people know, I drink tons of water, and of course, drink lots of Maine Love water. but I'm always hydrating. But the issue that I have is the same issue that you have. Is you can only hydrate up to a certain point because
the bladder is only so big.
The bladder is only so big, and the bathrooms only are very few and far between.
And you have all that equipment on, so I can appreciate that.
All right.
I'm juggling my opening take a little bit, and I know we're going to get to yours.
Sure.
Just because of the Jaylen Brown news, we were going to talk about Jaylen Brown not being traded, and all of a sudden this week he did get traded, and I think it caught virtually everybody by surprise. On what the package was.
The trade. I don't think. Sorry to interrupt. I don't think the trade caught people by surprise, but what the Celtics got in return.
I think more people were like me at this point before the trade. Was that I didn't think it was going to happen because I didn't think that there would be a comparable package that you would get for somebody like Jaylen Brown.
Oh, there wasn't.
And I found out that I was right. So basically, Brown went for Paul George and 2 number ones and 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks.
Right.
To the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, a rival who knocked the Celtics out in the first
round. Division. Yeah. I'm having trouble finding any kind of bright side of this.
Yeah,
I really am.
I mean, obviously we've both been thinking about this. I feel this is how I feel. So I think Brad Stevens was he painted himself into a corner, essentially. Basically, when the Giannis trade fell apart, and then Jaylen Brown realized, gosh, I am going to get traded, or I am a piece. I'm not really that valued by the Celtics. Brad Stevens pretty much had to say, I can't bring Jaylen Brown back into this locker room. It's not gonna be what it once was. I need to kind of figure this out. And sadly, what Brad Stevens thought the market would get for Jaylen Brown, we saw, we talked about, LaMelo Ball and things like that. The market just wasn't there for what the Celtics wanted in return for Brown. And the 76ers came with an offer. And I'm not going to say it's an offer that Brad Stevens couldn't have refused. He certainly could have, but it was an offer to get Jaylen Brown out of town.
I don't think the offers were getting any better.
Right.
And I also think that there was, and we talked about this last week, that Jaylen Brown proved that he could do it without Tatum this year.
Yeah.
And I think that some of this, haven't heard about Jason Tatum come out at all, unless it came out in the past 24 hours, supporting Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
He was very, very quiet throughout this whole thing. And I think that Brown basically said, yeah, I don't necessarily want to be Robin anymore.
Right.
And I think Tatum still, for some reason, has more pull. He certainly has more pull with the coach. And I think a lot of this was Tatum kind of saying, it's going to be either one of us. It's got to be one of us.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what happened. I think Tatum felt threatened by Brown more than Brown felt threatened by Tatum.
Right, because Brown had played the majority of the season
without Jason Tatum. that probably went into this mix. And I think that the Celtics ended up having to make a choice. And everybody in the NBA knew the Celtics had to make a choice. They had to move on from Jaylen Brown because Tatum and Mazzulla were like, yeah, we want to, this is the direction that we want to go.
Yeah. Does Brad Stevens think like you? And I mean this seriously. Does he?
I promise you, he does not.
But does he think like you in the sense that you can't bring the same team back and expect different results?
No, because after they won, they brought the same team back,
and they didn't get the results that they wanted. So maybe now he realizes, gee, that experiment didn't work. I can't do this. I need to mix it up a little.
I think that narrative is when you win, you can make that argument. When you don't win, I mean, if you don't win, why would you bring the same thing back anyway?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A GM's not doing their job if they're not making changes to a team that doesn't win.
Right.
So
and the Celtics did not win this year. They got knocked out in the first round.
And the best part of the Celtics season was when Jaylen Brown was leading the team, and they were playing a gritty, physical style game.
They got the 2 seed in the
conference. But that's what when they were at their best this year. That's the style they were playing.
Yeah.
The problem is that when Tatum came back, they can't play that style because he's not that kind of player.
Right.
And so they had to revert back to the other style, and we've talked about the isolation ball, waiting 10 minutes for Tatum to get up the court. But that's the style, and then shooting threes, and that's the style that Mazzulla wants to play.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The first thing you said, Brad Stevens kind of painted himself
did.
into a corner,
Yeah.
but I think that he painted himself into a corner through exterior pressure or interior pressure in this case via Tatum and Missoula.
Mhm.
I don't think, and by all accounts, Brown did not request a trade.
No.
He did not request a trade. I just think he said, yeah, but we're not necessarily going to run the ball through Tatum every single time.
Right.
We've shown that we can win better.
We can win. Yeah, we can
another
without
way.
win another way. Dog, what are your thoughts?
What is the point of signing guys to $300 million contracts? Two of them, if you're not going to keep them, what's the point? You've got a luxury tax, a salary cap, and an apron in the NBA. Did they think they were just going to run it back every year? But with that mentality, that line of thinking, that way of the NBA, that's over. Okay. Jaylen Brown is the highest paid player in the NBA per average annual value. Jason Tatum is right up there. What was the point of signing these guys to practically the same deal? What was the why are you doing this if you're just going to ship him out because he had a temper tantrum on Twitch?
I think that the temper tantrum affected how the fans felt about Jaylen Brown.
Mhm.
I don't think that it necessarily
Push the
changed how
needle
the
with the
Celtics felt about him as much as this. I think that this was about they finally came to that point where they had to make a choice because I don't think the Celtics believed that Brown could do what he did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that they always looked at him as the Robin, and it was okay. And Brown probably felt himself as that way, but he proved this year he wasn't. And so that kind of moved the needle. And I think that
Jaylen Brown's Batman.
I think Jaylen Brown,
At least he was for part of the season.
for this year,
Yeah.
for the part that they were winning, he was.
Yeah.
And I think that Tatum felt threatened by that. And I know, this is a lot of anti-Tatum thing. But do you know who I think is the big loser in this whole thing? Is Jason Tatum. Because now, if the Celtics do not win,
It's all on Tatum's
it is
shoulders.
all on Tatum. There's nobody there's zero person that he can be responsible to. It is now just on Tatum.
It's Tatum's team.
It's completely his team. I think he's the big loser on this. And if they don't win, there will be some boo birds in the Celtics. I mean, there's not many boo birds in Celtic world, but there will be because it's going to all be on him. And they took out the MVP from the finals, an MVP finalist this year, a team where they were supposed to be rebuilding this year, put the team on his shoulders and won. And they did a viable year for them. When they were talking play-in. At the beginning of the year, it was play-in. That was the goal. Because you didn't have Tatum, you didn't have Porzingis, you didn't have Holiday. But Jaylen Brown played at a level this year and lifted everybody up around him. And there was a lot of no-names. I still couldn't tell you who the starting five was. I couldn't because it was just a bunch of no-names. And it was Brown that brought him up. And so Tatum is going to be looking at the same situation, if not worse, next year. Paul George is way past his time. He's 36.
36.
36 years old.
36.
So if they don't win 50 games, what does that say? It says you kept the wrong player.
You kept the wrong player. Yeah, I was going to say because you've already made a prediction that you're saying that the Celtics have a successful season if they get past the first round.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess so. Well, yeah, I guess so. Compared to this past year, because they didn't get past the first round. But if they win 45 games, I think that's going to be a real problem. I would also say, and before we go to break, Jaylen Brown saved Joe Mazzulla's job. If they would have tanked this year, Mazzulla would have been gone.
Yeah.
It was Jaylen Brown that saved that job. So
and now the Celtics are going to be playing against him. He's now a Philadelphia 76er.
All right. When we come back, I know you didn't get to your opening take.
Okay.
I promise you I did not intentionally do that.
You know what? We don't really, I mean, I can just do it quickly when we come back, but I want to get into hot dog world.
All right. We'll be right back. More Mike and the Hoss. All right. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire. Happy 4th again.
Yes.
And it's time for New Hampshire sports. And there's nothing that says more about New Hampshire sports than ice cream and hot dogs.
Oh, my God.
We're talking hot dogs today. But first, we are sponsored by Bailey's Bubble.
Yeah, but you definitely need ice cream. Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite, as you already know, is the hot fudge, but I had the butterscotch the other day. absolutely incredible. So all of their sauces, the panucci, the butterscotch, the hot fudge, delicious. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you. That's Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro. My opening take, Mike, just quick. It's not really an opening take. It's more information. On June 30th, 2026, the Supreme Court ruling. We've talked about this with sports a lot. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that states can require school sports teams to be separated based on biological sex, allowing states to prohibit transgender girls and women from competing on girls and women's teams. It was said that the majority stated that protecting fairness in women's sports, protecting athlete safety in certain competitions, and using a clear, objective standard based on biological sex rather than evaluating athletes individually. The ruling, just so everybody's clear, does not create a nationwide ban on transgender athletes in women's sports. Instead, it confirms that states have the constitutional authority to enact and enforce laws limiting girls and women's school sports to biological females if they choose to do so. It also does not apply, of course, to professional sports leagues or private organizations. They set their own eligibility processes. And in the great United States of America, happy 250th birthday, there are currently 29 states, New Hampshire being one of them, that have implemented laws or statewide regulations that restrict or completely prohibit transgender girls and women from competing on female sports teams. So it went to the top of our land. The top of our land has spoken. It's still states' decisions to decide what they're going to do, but at least it lays some groundwork as to decisions that can be made about transgender girls and high school. We're talking specifically high school sports. So there we are. So basically, we have talked, I would say ad nauseum might be a good word for this in the past about how we feel about it and what's going to happen with it. But now the Supreme Court has spoken, so the regulations and guidance from them will hopefully make things not as clear as mud as it seems to be now in each state. So we'll see. We'll go from there. You ready to talk hot dogs?
I am, because I'm just going to no comment on this. My silence will be my
that.
feelings on it.
Mike is adopting the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Yes.
To this. So, but let's talk about something very exciting. At least it's very exciting for me. Dog has broken my heart telling me he doesn't eat hot dogs, and Mike just makes fun of me when I talk about this. So I'm ready to talk about it. The 2026 Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest, of course, is returning to today. I mean, it's happening, right? It's happening today down in Coney Island. The original Nathan's Hot Dog. They opened up, believe it or not, in 1916 is when they opened up. The actual competition didn't start until 1972, and it was just kind of like a small competition that obviously took off in the 90s and the 2000s. Defending champions, you got Joey Chestnut on the male side. You got Miki Sudo on the female side. The all-time records, people want to know this. In 2021, Joey Chestnut has the record, 76 dogs and buns in 10 minutes. And in 2024, Miko Sudo has 51 dogs and buns in 10 minutes. And this competition has always been overseen by the MLE, the Major League Eating, and then the International Federation of Competitive Eating, which I'm currently not a member of, but I'm not opposed to maybe joining that, maybe as an I don't know, what would you call that, as a consultant?
I think of MLE, and then I think of the Dodgeball Federation.
Yes.
Dodgeball. And I mean, it's just those kinds of lines.
Yeah.
I think this is a lot of fun. Today's not the day to decide if they're
no, we're not arguing that. We're not arguing that. It's happening.
It's become a really neat 4th of July tradition.
Yes.
And
I mean, it's on ESPN, and it's on ESPN Plus for the women's, and ABC and ESPN for the men's. That's wild.
And it's kind of wild, actually. It's kind of wild that it showed up like that. But every time I watch it,
yeah.
It seems like it's 100 degrees, and I look at the crowd that they all have the shirts off. Dudes have their shirts off.
Yeah.
They're all sweaty,
yeah.
And they're watching these people just stuff hot dogs, dip the rolls in water,
dip them right in the water,
and then slurp them up into their mouth. It's the whole thing is so disgusting.
What? We got to get them to dip it into Maine Love Water. That would make it even. Okay. That would slide down nice and easy.
It'd be a great sponsorship for Maine Love Water.
That would be. But yeah, you're right. It's you have to get the the hot dog bun moist so it slides down the throat.
I mean, all right, you said you like steamed dogs.
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when your dog just falls in the water?
Yeah, I don't think I'd like any of the dogs in the dog eating contest.
No,
Yeah.
so, and so they're intentionally slurping these, making the rolls into mush,
Yeah.
and then slurping them down.
Yeah.
You
And there's rules, right? If you vomit, you get a red card, you're disqualified. And then if you're too messy an eater, you'll get a yellow card. They'll yellow card you and you'll be penalized. So there's rules around this, Mike. It's a competition, a great sports competition.
did the referee come out there and hold up a red
Hold
card?
out a red card, yeah.
As this guy's
If the guy's
yakking
vomiting,
his-
you
yakking
have been
world.
given a red card. So you said you had some questions.
I do. I think you answered a lot of them actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I don't. How do you qualify for
Hmm.
this? So on the dais, there's 8 guys up there or 8 women up there.
Yeah, sure.
How do you become one of those 8?
So they actually have, well, first of all, if you're a past champion, you're always invited back. That's a
Okay.
guarantee. But they have competitions, local competitions. I mean, I don't know if they have any in New Hampshire. We should probably find out.
No, we're
But
good.
if you have local competitions and win these competitions, then you could actually earn a seat at the table. So they have the Major League Eating and the what do we call it again? The International Federation of Competitive Eating, the IFOCE, that oversees. When it says international, it's because it's also Canada, U.S. and Canada. They
But
do
this
have
is-
they have
this
eating.
is not a European thing.
No, international would be Canada. So
Okay.
they have competitions that you can go and win and qualify to be able to be in the competition, similar to how you would qualify to run in the Boston Marathon.
What other competitive eating things do they have?
They'll do like the chicken wings. They will do whoopie pies. So they
You
do.
obviously didn't look at your Facebook feed this week.
No, I didn't do.
Do you know who the king of the wings are at the Back Bay Boathouse?
Oh my goodness! Are you the king of the wings
I
this
was
week?
the king of the wings this week.
How many wings did you eat?
It's classified.
Okay,
this
this could potentially qualify you for
Is this the first step?
an MLE competition.
This is the first step for me going down. I was an unintended winner.
Okay.
I did not know that I wasn't aiming to win.
Yeah, you weren't going in there set to have this
no
title.
Absolutely not.
Do you get a belt?
No, they take a picture with a
Okay, I have to.
crown.
Yeah, I haven't seen so.
And
I
then-
have to.
And then
I'm
if you have
disappointed that I
friends
didn't
that
see
have
that.
AI abilities, and they
Yes.
mock the picture and change it into all kinds of
I'm sure.
slightly inappropriate
King
things.
of
And,
gluttony, something like that. So question about that then, since you actually have taken part. I have never taken part in any type of eating competition.
This was unintended.
You have
ate-
more experience than I do.
ate dinner. I ate.
You ate dinner?
basically-
And then did this?
No, this was dinner.
Oh, okay.
This was dinner.
Sorry.
And I ate this, and then they came by and said, "You're the champion." I was like, "Champion
Jedi or
of what?"
what? You're like,
And they
what
s-
am I competing in?
And basically, and
Yeah.
he says, "No, you had the
Most
most wings," which is not true, but they crowned me.
Now, how can I ask a question about the wings? Like, what is
Sweet Thai
considered?
chili.
No, I get that's my favorite too. But what is considered a finished wing? Like, I have a friend that I used to work with that can take a wing.
Mine are cleaned off. Pretty
Okay,
well.
I was gonna say he can take a wing and it's pretty much clean.
Again, I was not in it for the competition,
I know,
so
but you still became a champion.
I just was eating the wings as they normally do.
That's impressive.
I was just saying you'd had look at your Facebook.
I
because,
haven't looked at it. I'll have to get on. I will get on later on.
Thank you to the Back Bay Boathouse. They threw out a little love to Mike and the Haas too.
Oh, much
on-
appreciated.
on that. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you wash it down with the penalty box?
no, I didn't.
Okay,
I-
next time. Next time, a penalty box.
I did not. I was not in a place where I could have done that at that point.
Okay.
But yeah. So I'm not interested in doing the hot dog thing. I'm not.
Oh,
interested
neither
in
am
doing
I.
any
I'm not-
I'm not interested in doing competitive eating.
Neither am I.
I mean, I fell
I'm not-
fell backwards into this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no,
This is not a new career for you.
no, it is not.
You and Joey Chestnut aren't going to become buddies.
No,
So-
no, but I guess I have some similarities to Joey Chestnut.
You
now.
do have some
We
similarities.
both hold titles.
You both hold titles, and maybe he could teach you his training regiment.
Well, being a champion of
Yeah, you are.
of the wings, I do not consider myself an athlete because of that. I just want you to know that this is not
Is it
something
is it
that
possible that you are an athlete and you, because of your athleticism, you are able to transfer your athleticism into this competition?
No, it was an accident. I ate these by an accident, and they put a crown on me.
By accident. I was
It
eating my
was-
dinner, and then I became a champion.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. So this is another point that this is not an athletic event. That I became a champion just by sitting there. Dog.
I just want endless pasta bowls. I don't want to make a contest out of it.
Oh yeah, I like that. I love pasta. I can only eat so much. But congratulations, Mike, and I hope everybody's enjoying. If you're listening to us now, so you're probably not watching the hot dog eating contest, but make sure you watch the replays later. Go Joey and go Miko.
How long do they have to eat?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. You got
All right,
10
so
minutes.
It's a quick hitter.
Yep.
All right, we'll be right back. More Mike and the Hoss. Hi, welcome back to Mike and the Hoss on this wonderful July 4th episode, 250 years.
It is. Happy birthday, America. I'm still kind of tickled about our last segment when you told us you're the king of chicken wings, and you just shared with all of us the picture, which I'm sure we'll be making it around Mike and the Hoss social media at some point, which will be great because I have to bow down now. We cannot do a no kings because I am in the presence of a king.
We can still do no kings. You know this, and I mean, your son was at the game too. Went to the Red Sox game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And disappointing doesn't even begin to describe it. Red Sox coming off of 5 straight wins.
Yeah.
And then they were fighting, and then the bench clearing.
Yeah, you got to see the
thing,
Contreras thing. Yeah,
which was wild. If you go to one of those games and you're relatively close to the game,
it's pretty cool to see.
And you see that, and
here's one.
It was not really punches thrown, helmets were thrown.
Yeah,
but not really.
I want to make a comment about that. I always find it like you want to see it. I find it exciting. It's kind of like a hockey fight, right? But what I really appreciate is when the bullpens, especially if the bullpens, Claire, why don't the bullpens just fight each other
out there?
Just let them. They should go at it right out there in the outfield at Fenway, and but they run in, and it's just, and then it turns into almost like a social event so the guys that are really fired up are fired up. But then it's like if you're my buddy on the other team, I'm like, hey, how you doing, Mike? And it's
not like the bullpens do a hard sprint in. It's just
a
casual.
We got to get there.
And usually they're jogging in with the other bullpen.
They're team. Just running in together. Yeah.
The fight itself. Or the bench clearing, we'll call it, the melee. Contreras obviously has a little bit of an edge to him.
Oh, sure.
He really does.
Yeah.
He was ejected the night before in the second inning too. That was one, and we can talk about that one too afterwards. But should that have happened, and we'll get into that. But he has an edge to him. But this thing started in the first inning when he did a little flyby of the pitcher when he was running back, and so he was even. He was certainly.
He was running his mouth.
He was, and he was trying to work this pitcher, and it backfired in many, many ways because the Red Sox haven't scored a run. Oh, they scored 2 runs in the ninth at the day after, but they were shut down pretty bad by a bad Washington Nationals pitching staff.
Yeah,
they get hit. Washington Nationals can hit, but they're not really much on the pitchers. So I don't think it was necessarily a great thing. Getting back to the game itself, it's still a AAA lineup.
Yeah.
You got a couple guys in there. What I wanted to think, and this was my opening take, is that I saw them use the ABS system. And it was Ziegler. So many different names now. Ziegler used it early on, second inning, nobody on base. It was first or second pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, anybody who uses this thing is inherently selfish.
Yeah.
It's an inherently selfish move to use this early in the game or in non-pivotal, non-leverage situations to use it. Just they're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about the team.
Yeah.
And so anytime that you see one of these guys use it, mark it because that guy's not there for the team.
Yeah.
That guy is putting his stats, his at-bat, his interest above what the team is. I'm not understanding why managers are not saying nobody touches this thing until the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't care. Nobody touches this thing until the 7th inning because you get to that 9th inning and you don't have any challenges because Ziegler used it on a 0-1 pitch when nobody's on base at the first at bat in the first or second inning.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty upset about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an inherently selfish thing that these guys are using it. and because it just shows that they care more about themselves than they do the team.
I know Dog has seen it live, and you got a chance to see it live. What was it like at the ballpark seeing it?
Compared to what it was at the beginning of the year, there was a lot of cheering and everything like that.
Yeah.
Now, I think that the umpires are getting better.
Mhm.
I think they've
adjusted.
They've adjusted, what they're doing compared to the ABS. The umpires were right virtually. I don't know. Past 3 games that I've watched, the umpires are right 9 out of 10 times.
Mhm.
If the players are wrong, their things are they're just wasting them.
Yeah.
I think it's going to stay. I just think that managers they're going to change their philosophy on it, and they're just going to stop using these things in the first and second inning and third inning, and stop using. There should be a kangaroo court in these locker rooms that if you use this and you're wrong up before the 7th inning, it's a $10,000 fine. I'm serious.
Okay.
I mean, they need something. This
Yeah,
is ridiculous what they're doing with it. And again, they're using it on balls that were clearly strikes.
Mhm.
In the second inning, nobody on base,
Yeah.
nobody out.
Doesn't really
the pitch is
impact the
0-1.
game.
It's not an impactful position. So the only way you're doing it is if you care more about your stuff than anybody else.
Do you mind if we segue just with it has to do with video though? How about USA Soccer, baby? They're in the round.
We're going to talk about.
I know. I want to talk about them right now, though. We're in the round of 16, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what did you think about the red card? Because that got called because of video.
I don't understand how they can go from nothing to a red card.
Yeah,
That's kind of a big leap.
it's a huge leap.
And it's so penal in soccer because he can't play in the next game. And
That's what
a
I mean.
star.
That's what I mean.
That's a
yeah.
star.
Yeah.
And it's penal during that game where the team has to play
With just 10,
shorthanded.
yeah, you got to play shorthanded. You play with 10, but then basically you went from nothing to you're out for the rest of this game and the next one.
I just through the video,
Through video,
this VAR system that they're using, FIFA's corrupt anyway. We've talked about that for the past month and a half.
Yeah.
I feel like this VAR system's kind of corrupt too because they're not using it consistently. There's offsides that are clearly offsides. They're showing they're offsides, but the VAR system are allowing goals or turning back goals. They're not being consistent at all. Where we all see it at home, we all see exactly what the VAR system's looking at, but they're not making the calls that everybody else is seeing.
Yeah.
Something's amiss with this.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can go from a no call to a
you bypass the yellow and you go right to the red
when the referee on the field doesn't call anything.
Correct.
No, I don't get it, and it's too bad.
There's no way to appeal it, which they figured out too.
This American team, the United States team, slowly. There's a little momentum coming with
first time in 24 years to the round of 16.
Round of 16, and they're playing Belgium, and they can beat Belgium. Now they're missing one of their best players, but this is a different kind of United States football, United States soccer team than we've seen in the past. And we had mentioned that they all play in the Premier League in Europe, all of them. Right across the board. This is not the guys just American playing in a minor league system.
Sure,
they're all playing in the Premier League. They're all playing in the top leagues around the world. So they're all used to playing these top level players. Yeah, and they're playing well. I mean, take away Turkey and that game, they've dominated all the games that they've played.
Yeah, they have. It's interesting, and it may be that maybe I shouldn't feel this way, but watching the World Cup, and it's been exciting and it's been really good soccer, but I actually feel for a lot of these teams that it's like it's their whole world, and these teams are losing. And we have a USA team in the final 16 that most people could care less,
which is arguably our 5th most popular sport.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that, and you get people with like tears in their eyes when their country loses, and they're so passionate.
Did you see the South Korea loss?
Yes.
And did you see the video of them returning to the airport? How booed they were.
Yeah.
And especially the coach. Yeah. The coach is now concerned for his safety.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, crazy about how. And fans they love their teams, just maybe not the U.S. We don't. I think the U.S. soccer fans love that, but I think I'm hoping that this is going to, because we've talked a lot about this, and I became a soccer fan because my son started playing soccer, and I really enjoy it. And you coach soccer forever, and
if
it's
they can
it's a
get
great
through-
sport.
If they get by Belgium,
Yeah.
if they get to the round of 8, there will be a major swell
Oh, I
of
hope
interest
so. I hope so.
in this thing if the United States team makes
Yeah.
it that far.
Yeah.
And the other night when they beat
Bosnia,
thank you.
Yeah.
That was primetime game. That was a primetime game, which they've been playing at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. This one was 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everybody got to see it. Everybody was into it. People were watching
People
it.
are pumped.
When I was
pubs
when I
were
was being
filled. You were
crowned,
the
it was
king-
on the
king of the
TV. It was on the
wings.
TV there,
Yeah.
and there was people that were watching that game.
Which is
So,
awesome.
I think it's good, and it's taking FIFA out of it, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
It's been successful. I think the cultural experience of having all of these, the Tartan Army and the Norway Army, and all these guys,
all of them here
around
in
here,
the U.S.
I think has been really positive for the U.S. and seeing, Kansas City become that mecca of soccer. And
Mhm.
I think the soccer people knew it was the mecca of soccer in the United States. I
Now
don't
we
think
all-
the
now we
average
all
Joe-
know.
Now
Yeah.
we all know that's where that's where you want to be if you're a soccer player,
Agreed.
which is pretty neat.
Good stuff.
When we come back,
Mhm.
it's not a game. I don't
No.
want to call it a game,
No.
but there's we're going to do some listing and ordering of different events.
Sounds good.
And just to preview it a little bit, I want to talk about like the overall the most important title in the world,
Okay.
and like a World Cup title. Is that
Yeah.
more important than a Stanley Cup title?
Okay.
I'll use that. It's probably a bad example, but
Yeah.
that's what we do when we come back.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're a short segment but we are sponsored by Maine Love.
Maine Love water and seltzers are sourced from pristine Maine waters, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste in every can. Next time you reach for canned water or seltzer, choose Maine Love. Thank you, Maine Love.
And the Red Sox are on the West Coast. They're playing the Los Angeles Angels. Pregame 8:38. First pitch 9:38, and you can catch that in the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Yeah, Mike Trout, baby.
All right, we're gonna do a couple things here. We'll start. We'll just make sure we get this in. I want to rank the holidays by sports
Okay.
and the viewing experience. So, for instance, Thanksgiving is NFL.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. So
Sure.
you're going to rank the holiday by the sport, not by the food, not by anything else, by
All
the
right.
sport and your interest level in those sports.
Do you want to go through what we have?
Yeah,
on our
I'm going to
list?
read all of them.
Okay.
July 4th is baseball, and I had put hot dogs, but you went clearly and said Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Okay.
That's what you get July 4th. Thanksgiving is the NFL. Christmas Day is the NBA and the NFL now. New Year's Day is NCAA football
Mhm.
and NHL. Father's Day is golf.
Yep.
March Madness that's the first Thursday.
first Thursday
That's not
of
a
March
holiday,
Madness.
though. It's
It's
not
not
a
a-
holiday.
Not a holiday.
And
But-
Major
well,
League
it is a
Baseball-
holiday for some people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball opening day, which is also not a holiday, and Masters Sunday.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it simple. Let's go off the holidays.
Okay, the holidays.
So
So, we'll
holidays.
get rid of March
So,
Madness. MLB.
July 4th, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, New Year's Day. What is your
and Father's
and
Day.
Father's Day? What is your favorite holiday in terms of sports viewing?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving,
Football and food.
football, and food.
Yeah.
Dog, what about you? What's your favorite holiday in terms of sports?
July 4th, it's summer, baseball. It's like a rite of passage.
I didn't hear the hot dog eating contest in there, dog.
Next.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna be with you on this one. I'm gonna be Thanksgiving.
Okay.
One of the reasons why is July 4th. It's so nice outside. I don't want to sit inside and watch baseball.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, just listen in on the Pulse of New
Oh, you
Hampshire.
can listen on the Pulse of New Hampshire. That's
Yeah.
true. But at Thanksgiving, it's the weather's changed. It's usually pretty cold around
Yeah.
here anyway.
Plus your family,
Uh,
you're inside typically.
Family,
Yeah.
and there's just one game after another game after another game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right. The other thing that we're ranking, this one's going to be a little bit more involved. If I can find it, there it is the greatest sports title to achieve, and I came up with this list based on World Cup. That is winning the World Cup in soccer the greatest accomplishment in all of sports.
Mhm.
And so you're thinking about everything. And so these are our choices. And if you have one, dog, and Charlie's already looked at the list. So FIFA World Cup. All of these are the men's and women's component. It's going to be men's and women's, either
Yeah.
one. The Olympic gold medal in hockey, the Olympic gold medal in basketball, the Olympic gold medal in baseball, softball, the Olympic gold medal in skiing, the Super Bowl, the Masters tournament, Wimbledon, the World Baseball Classic, an NBA title, a Stanley Cup title, or the Four Nations NHL thing.
So the greatest sports title
What is the
to achieve.
greatest sports title to achieve? Whether it be difficulty, importance, that the team becomes legendary in the eyes of the city, country, whatever.
World.
What do you think is the greatest sports title to achieve?
Dog, why don't we act Dog? We'd love for you to go first. What are you thinking?
What's the greatest sports title to achieve?
I'm thinking it's the Olympic gold medal because, again, it could be individual or it could be team. And again, you're taking on the world, much like you would be doing for the World Cup. You're taking on the world. You're doing the same thing for the Olympics. But again, if you're doing it individually, you're taking on a whole group of athletes by yourself. Whereas if you're doing it as a team, you're taking collectively against the world. So I think that achievement in itself, a gold medal, is pretty remarkable.
So I'm not going to disagree with him yet, but I would also rank that an Olympic gold medal in hockey carries more weight than an Olympic gold medal in baseball.
Yeah,
Uh,
I wouldn't disagree with that.
So,
sure.
What about you? I'm going to get to mine last.
I mean, I think for me, it's got to be. I mean, because we're in the middle of it right now. I think it would be the FIFA World Cup because this gives you world prestige. This gives you the love of your country. The fact that the entire world, all the nations of the world that compete in this are all centralized in different areas for this competition, and it's the best of the best. And you have the fans that are coming over. You know, you already mentioned in the last segment, you got the Tartan Army and the Norse men and women, and you just kind of have this, I don't know, this global moment for me. So I think it would be the greatest title to achieve would be the FIFA World Cup.
If the United States team won the World Cup, do you think that would be more praised than the 1980 Olympic gold medal for hockey?
No, when I was trying to form my answer, I was trying to not be, even though it's 250th birthday of America, I was trying to not be USA centric in my. I was trying to be more global with that decision. To answer your question, I don't want to try to avoid that. I think the 1980 Olympics would be, even if the U.S. men's team or women's team won the World Cup, no one would care. That they're not going to make a movie out of that. Everybody's going to go back and watch Miracle, because I think Miracle's still going to trump the World Cup for the USA.
I'm going to agree with you. Worldwide, I think the World Cup is where it's at worldwide. Yeah. And I think the only pocket where it's not as big is the United States.
Yeah.
It's the only pocket in the world where the World Cup is not as big. And you can go back to the 1980 Olympics, or most recently the 2026 Olympic gold medals for that hockey team. And if you're a hockey player, you can still name players from the 1980 team.
Even if you're not a hockey player. Jim Craig, Mike Bruzione, come on.
Most athletic people will know that Jack Hughes scored the winning goal.
Yes.
In this
and
one.
that iconic photo.
Yep. And I think that the Jack Hughes thing without his teeth, front teeth, and that whole thing is going to carry the weight. So I'm going to say World Cup worldwide, but I think an Olympic gold medal in hockey is probably the next biggest thing as far as the United States goes.
Love it.
Yeah. So pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, I think all of them are important, but big events.
Yeah.
Any kind of gold medal I think matters. I think the World Baseball Classic is going though.
Definitely. Four Nations is also exciting.
It is. That was kind of a joke. I didn't see that as being on there, but
all right. Well, happy birthday, America. Have a great 4th, guys, and enjoy your hot dogs.
Thank you for listening. All right. Bye-bye.